TNF Soundings. Features from across the UK.
Hi, I'm Bob Baker.
And I'm Jill Hardiker.
And together we are Sound and Vision.
Bringing you the best information, technology and interviews for the visually impaired and those supporting them.
Technology has advanced so much now that there are lots of kitchen gadgets and appliances that will talk to you.
We've been chatting to a couple of companies that make and supply this kind of helpful technology.
First of all, we spoke to Jess Holmes, who is Head of Creative Marketing at Ravencourt Living, and she told us about their kitchen products that are available for the blind and visually impaired.
We've got talking clocks, and then also we've got our kitchen range with like the talking scales and the pan pickles. We do actually place a lot of orders over the phone. Some customers feel like they want more of a personal touch. They will call up and place an order, and we're more than happy to do that. It's lovely to speak to people. So we do find that that's quite a majority of our business that we do that. I thought I'd talk a little bit about our talking kitchen scales and jug. So you can actually buy them as a set, or you can place just the jug on its own. We do sell both. It's absolutely fantastic. You can change the measurements to grams, ounces or milliliters, so you've got a range, a variety depending on what you're really wanting to measure. It's really accessible. We've got two buttons on the front, one that's on and then one that changes the units, and the voice is Ian Story, the original founder of Ravencourt. It's in all of our talking products, which we do have a lot of feedback that people really like that, and it's got a really clear voice. Which is what we want. We want it to be as easy to hear as possible. And then on the jug, it's got really clear markings, really bold. So if you've still got a little bit of vision left, it's really fantastic. If you don't want that talking element to it, that's why we do sell the jug on its own. It's dishwasher safe, and it's got a easy to pour spout at the top. It's got a really easy to grip handle, so you won't find it will slip out your hand. If you turn it on and then you've got any water that you're measuring, you'll pop that in, you'll give it a second and it will register it. Then also you'll be able to hear it. You can take that out, pop that wherever you need to, then pop it back on, and it will then start from zero again, which then you can start again. If you say then measuring some flour or some sugar or something, you can easily change that to say grams if you really want to. It's all really clear. It's not too quick that you wouldn't be able to understand it, and obviously it is literally a press of a button and it will go back to the beginning of the measurements. I'd recommend just wiping the base clean. It is battery operated, so obviously it is encased inside of it. You've got no electrical power, so you're not going to have to worry about if you spill any water on it or anything. And then obviously the jug is dishwasher safe if you did want to pop it in the dishwasher. So we also do a product called the pan pickle, which is a two silicone kind of little circles like this that you'd pop on your counter, and it's a really great way to keep pots and pans stable. So they are meant for induction hobs, so obviously when you're cooking and you've got really high temperatures, it can keep it still so that you're not gonna spill anything and it's not gonna slowly go off the edge. A lot of people do like to just use these on the side rather than the induction hob, and also a lot of our users, if you do place the easy to see measuring jug, a lot of people do like to have the pan pickles either side of that as well, just to keep it more stable if you're measuring any liquid. We do actually have a little device called the one button clock. So that's a really small device that you just press the button on top and it will announce the timeout to you. So you could keep this on your kitchen counter, really nice and easy. You can also set an alarm on it, so it will go off at a certain time. And that's also great if you've got something cooking in the oven. You could press that on it, it will tell you the time. You go, oh, I'm just going to set an alarm for the next hour, and it will sort that out. So there's a little button on the bottom of the device. You'll be able to feel it, and you go through the settings, really easy. It will set you through set time, set hour, set date. And then you'll go through and it will say set alarm, and then you'll set the time with the button on the top, and then you'll leave it and it'll go set alarm, and then that's all you've got to do. It talks you through everything. We're such a small team. We value ourselves on our exceptional customer service. We're always willing to help. We do love to hear people's thoughts and ideas because we're always wanting to grow as a company and we're always wanting to be as inclusive as possible. So that's why we do love to have the innovative side of the business, that we can do that and we can deliver that to people.
Next, we spoke to Simon Cox, who is a director at Cobalt Systems Limited. They make and supply a range of daily living aids, including talking cooking equipment.
We've developed microwaves, combination ovens, induction hobs, and our latest products over the last couple of years have been the talking single air fryer and the double air fryer. All our products are available directly from our website. You can also buy them from your local resource centres, of which we supply numerous ones all around the country. They are also available on Amazon, or if you don't have access to a computer or you can't access the website, just give us a call. We take orders over the phone. Generally speaking, most orders, depending on the time of day they come in, will either go out that day or the following day, and they're sent out articles for the blind. So in a lot of cases, other than things like the microwaves and the air fryers, there is no charge for shipping. If you're not entirely happy, you get it and you feel that it's not what you wanted, send it back, we give you a full refund. Over the years, from all the exhibitions and conferences and things that we've done, our development has been driven by feedback from end users on not only products that we have that we could possibly change to make better, but also ideas for new products. And it still is very much driven that way. And that's where we get a lot of our product development ideas. We have always got new products in development because ultimately we'd like to make the products as cheap as we possibly can and available to a larger number of people. We still manufacture a lot of stuff here in the UK. Most of it is done in-house. We decided long ago that customer help and customer feedback is most important. So I know if I buy something and ring a company up, they want to get you off the phone as quick as possible. We're not like that. We tell all our employees, especially the people that work on the phone, if we have to spend an hour on the phone talking through somebody how to do something, then that's what we do. If they need additional help, we have, all the instructions are available for all the products on the website in a text document only, so it's dead easy for them to download the screen readers. We have audio instructions for everything. And fundamentally, if the customer is still having problems or the end user, we say, give us a call. We'll talk you through it over the phone. Ideally, if you're sat next to it, we can talk you through while you're using it. So again, not only do we tell people how to do it, we tell them which buttons to press and make them do it whilst we're on the phone so we can hear and we can say, can you hear that? That said, timer only, or that said, whatever. And they say, oh yeah, I didn't hear that before. So, we make a point of wherever possible spending as much time on the phone by sending additional stuff over if necessary. We also tell them where their nearest resource centre is that might have one. So if somebody wants to look at something perhaps before they buy it, or somebody's bought something and is having a problem and still can't quite manage to fathom it out even after the help we give them, then, the local resource centre may be able to also help them. We get a lot of roadies that will ring up and say, look, we're from Cambridge. There's about 15 of us. Can we come and spend the morning with you? So we'll say, yeah. Bring the biscuits, and they'll come up with a pack of biscuits, and we'll sit down and we'll spend however long going through every product with all of these guys, because these are all the people that are going out to see users in their home. Because we're also on the Norfolk Broads, a lot of people who have come with their families to hire a boat for a holiday during the summer often stop here and walk up the road and come and see us. There's no appointment. Ideally, a bit of advance notice, especially if there's a number of people coming in, a day before or a couple of days before. It's a bit hard sometimes, depending on what's going on, if a dozen people suddenly turn up at the door. We have a mini resource centre where all our products are there. So, yeah, people can come. Individual customers come all the time, whether it's for a watch battery replacement or to buy product. Anybody's welcome to come. Sometimes we get people who come to Norwich on the train and they get the train from Norwich to Reedham, and then they give us a call and we pick them up at the station and bring them to us and then drop them back at the stations. Where possible, we're willing to help as much as we can. When we developed the induction hob, I spent 2 days in London at the eye hospital talking to people coming in. And I was surprised at how people were putting their fingers in the flame or where the flame would be on their gas hobs and lighting it and waiting until their fingers burned before they realised that that particular burner was lit. And it horrified me. So spending time in Moorfields, friends of Moorfields, we do quite a bit of work listening to them and spending time talking to them. And equally as well, other hospitals around the UK. So again, not only is it a great source of information for us, but it does help us focus on products that everyday use is paramount. If I was to sit here and say we never had a product faulty, I'd be like Pinocchio. That's impossible. We're always going to get a faulty product, whether it goes faulty through use or whether it's just a component fault. But what we like to do is to get it back, get it repaired and get it back to the customer as soon as and as fast as possible. So ultimately, 3 or 4 days is the maximum you're going to be without that product. The air fryers are a great example of, because of the cost of living crisis and the price of energy, people wanted something relatively cheap to cook, relatively easy to use, relatively easy to clean, and asked us for air fryers. So we went ahead and, we put everything into developing it as quickly as possible that we could. And we achieved that. We do a single one and a double one. Same with the induction hobs, the microwaves and things like that. They're all there to help people be able to give themselves a hot meal.
Both companies told us about the development process for these gadgets and appliances and the fact that it doesn't just happen overnight. There are so many different aspects to take into consideration to make the final product work.
That's right, Bob. And sometimes what starts out as a good idea might not be able to be developed due to cost or just the fact that the idea proves to be unworkable. But both companies told us they try very, very hard to make them work.
These are just two of the companies that we chatted to, amongst others who are doing the same thing. So here's the contact details for Ravencourt Living. Their email address is info@ravencourt.com. That's info@ravencourt.com. And their telephone number is 01780 489 100.
The contact details for Cobalt Systems Limited are their email address is sales@cobalt.co.uk. That's SALES@COBOLT.co.uk. And their telephone number is 01493 700 172. Alternatively, you can contact your local blind and visually impaired organisation who will have lots of information on these and more kitchen products.
So it's with great thanks to Jess from Ravencourt Living and to Simon from Cobalt Systems Limited for their time, information and input. It never ceases to amaze us when we are doing research for all these podcasts, just how much technology continues to advance.
Hey Bob, did you hear the one about the air fryer that was chatting to the weighing scales?
No, sorry Jill, I was too busy listening to the microwave.
Thank you for listening to Sound and Vision with Bob and Jill. So until the next time, it's goodbye from us both.
Hello, I'm Nikki, with an article written by Heather about visual snow syndrome, which is a very rare eye condition. With snow falling in many parts of the UK in January 2026, it's perhaps timely to look at the work of a non-profit organisation dedicated to researching and raising awareness of an eye condition known as visual snow syndrome. It's an unusual condition affecting 2 to 3% of the population, and its name comes from the fact that sufferers see constant flickering dots that look like snowfall. The snowfall is always there, regardless of whether the eyes are open or closed, and many people have struggled to have the problem accurately diagnosed. Aiming to help improve diagnoses is the Visual Snow Initiative, VSI, a worldwide organisation that draws together expertise from across the globe to research the condition and help people who suffer with it. The VSI was founded in 2018 by Sierra Dom after her visual snow syndrome problem was finally identified after years of confusion and misdiagnosis. Sierra decided that she wanted to raise awareness of the condition and help speed up the diagnosis process for other sufferers. Visual snow syndrome is a neurological condition, and while all sufferers experience the snow effect, many also experience other symptoms such as after images, light sensitivity, tinnitus, migraines, dizziness, sensory overload, and tingling or numbness. Other challenges can include anxiety, depression, and insomnia. Since its creation in 2018, the VSI had made great strides forward in identifying the symptoms, bringing together medical practitioners and researchers to find out more about the causes of visual snow syndrome and to work on potential treatments. Success so far has included achieving a World Health Organization recognition of visual snow syndrome. This recognition means the syndrome is now part of the International Classification of Diseases, a system that helps medical practitioners identify and diagnose patients' conditions. As part of the global team, UK researchers are playing a key part in the VSI's work. Recent VSI collaborators include King's College London, Imperial College, Moorfields Eye Hospital, the University of Oxford, the Universities of Bournemouth and Sheffield, the Oxford Mindfulness Foundation, and the Cambridge-based National Institute for Health and Care Research. One of the key researchers involved with VSI is Dr. Francesca Puleda from King's College. Writing in the King's College 2025 annual report on its VSI work, she explains her plans to set up an experiment to look at whether virtual reality can improve visual snow symptoms. The idea developed after patients reported that observing an external reproduction of static, for example in a video, could improve their systems temporarily. Work also continues to identify long-term medication that could help manage or reduce symptoms. VSI continues to raise money for research into visual snow syndrome and funds research across 7 countries, bringing together medical professionals and academic institutions to develop science-based solutions. The VSI has also created an online library of resources for both patients and medical professionals to help improve understanding of visual snow syndrome. The VSI website includes sections on the different types of visual snow syndrome, its history, how to diagnose it, and options for treating it. Other important features on the website include a directory of doctors who specialise in visual snow syndrome, including doctors based in Hertfordshire, Leeds, Bristol and London. There is also a special section to help children who suffer from visual snow syndrome and their families. You can find out more about the VSI by visiting their website, visualsnowinitiative.org.
Next, we catch up with Charlotte and her trainee guide dog, Buster.
Hello, this is Charlotte from Guide Dogs, here with your latest update on Buster. So this month has been a good example of how things don't always go to plan with our dogs in training. Buster was making good progress in the first half of the month. He was showing a lot more consistency and confidence on his routes, so I had started to drop my support a little and expect a bit more of him with regards to decision making, which he seemed to be taking on well. However, last Saturday Buster was rushed to the vets as he was showing some very concerning symptoms, including vomiting everything that he was eating and drinking, very reduced interest in food and a flat demeanour. The vets were worried that he had eaten something that could have caused a blockage. Buster does have some history of ingesting things that he shouldn't, particularly small cloth items like socks and hankies. Previously, Buster has had medication to make him vomit up what he has eaten. However, this time the vets could feel a large blockage and they were worried that it might perforate the digestive tract. Buster had emergency surgery in the middle of the night and a large football sock was removed, which we think he must have found on a free run as the fosterers didn't recognise it. The surgery took 3 hours and needed 2 incisions in his abdomen. Buster is now recovering and doing well. He isn't enjoying wearing a cone, but at the moment it is necessary to let his surgical scar heal. His fosterers are keeping him at home during recovery and he is not allowed to free run for 4 weeks. Of course, this incident has put his future as a guide dog into question. I've worked with Buster previously to strengthen his response to the drop cue and rewarding him for ignoring high-value items like socks on the floor, but Buster's incidents of stealing and ingesting tend to happen when he is alone or at a distance from people, often when he has had a stressful day. Buster is a sensitive boy with quite low resilience to stress, so an example of a stressful incident for him might be that a boisterous dog tries to play with him on a free run, or a car with a loud exhaust passes him at close proximity while working. Buster is interesting because in the moment he appears to cope quite well and brush off an incident like this, but later on he will do something like look for something to steal or chew up his bed. The concern here is that because Buster has a low resilience to stress and can be easily stressed by fairly mundane happenings, that this stealing could easily reoccur in the future, and this would not be safe for Buster and not something that we would want a guide dog owner to have to worry about. It also suggests that Buster is not perhaps resilient enough for the role and that this isn't good for his mental well-being. Most dogs that have a tendency to steal and ingest grow out of this behaviour as they mature as puppies, and we were hoping that this would be the case with Buster. His fosterers told me that recently he's been quite trustworthy at times when he'd found items that he shouldn't have, as he was tending to bring them to the fosterers to exchange for a biscuit. In a way, this makes the situation harder to control as it is inconsistent. Buster would have been due to go on to the advanced stage of training soon, but as the training would become more intense at this stage, it is looking unlikely that this decision would be in Buster's best interest. In the coming weeks, I will be discussing Buster with the wider team, both on the training and the health side, as to his suitability going forward. It is possible that there is a health explanation, like a gut flora imbalance that is making non-food items seem attractive to Buster, which could be explored. It may be decided that Buster should be withdrawn from training and become a pet, or we could give him more time in early training. Either way, I will be working on trying to fix this behaviour as soon as he is well enough, as this will help him wherever he ends up. For now, we are keeping him entertained with lots of interactive toys that don't require a lot of moving around, like puzzle toys. This is not the update that I wanted to give, and I do want to stress that incidents like this are thankfully quite rare. As trainers, we see a huge range of behaviours from our dogs, and we are always keeping the future guide dog owner in mind, as well as the safety of the dog. We never want to put person or dog at risk in the pursuit of training. Thank you so much for listening. I will be back next month for hopefully a more positive update.
Hello everyone, this is 10 Today, a 10-minute set of exercises to do at home to help keep yourself active. Before we get to today's presenter, a couple of housekeeping points to note. The 10 Today project is funded by the Big Lottery and Sport England, and when you're doing the exercises, it's important that you don't push yourself too far, and by taking part, you agree to 10 Today's terms and conditions. You can read these terms and conditions at tnflink.uk/10T, and the 10T is the digit 1, the digit 0 and the letter T. And please remember that you agree to take part at your own risk. Today's exercises are brought to you by Mary, and here she is.
Hello everyone, and welcome to 10 Today, Series 2, Session number 10. These are short, 10-minute physical activity routines which will get you moving and stretching. They're great for your health, including boosting your mood. And very importantly, they're designed to support your everyday movements, your functional fitness, your flexibility, balance and mobility, such as when you have to reach up, turn, bend down and so on. These simple routines will help you with that. Just take them at your own pace. There are plenty of options. If an exercise feels too much, then just take it easy and have a break. All the exercises can be done either standing up or sitting down. Just do whatever feels good for you today. When lifting your arms or knees, only go as far as is comfortable. If you have any problems with your knees or hips, take care not to twist them during the movements. When lifting your arms or knees, only go as far as is comfortable. And if you have any problems with your knees or hips, take care not to twist them during the movements. It can also help to pull in your tummy when you're bending your back. And just breathe normally throughout these activities. We want you all to do these activities safely. You are responsible for monitoring how you're feeling throughout the sessions. And if you feel any discomfort or pain, for example, if you feel unwell or dizzy or experience palpitations, then please stop and seek medical advice. Please remember, you agree to take part at your own risk. If you're remaining seated, it would be ideal if you can use a hard chair, preferably one without arms, such as a dining chair that you can sit upright in with a straight back and your feet flat on the floor. If you're standing, just step your feet hip-width apart, relax your shoulders and take a good, strong stance. And you might want to have a sturdy chair nearby to hold on to sometimes for balance. We hope you enjoy 10 today. So we're going to start with a warm-up. You're just going to quickly tap or pat different parts of your body. So briefly tap along each arm one at a time in different places. Your upper arm, your forearm and your wrist. And do the same on both arms. Then pat the top of both legs, just quickly tapping up and down your legs in various places towards your knees for a few seconds. Great, you should be nicely warmed up now and ready to move. So the first exercise is Trace the Glow. Lean forwards and lower your arms down in front of your legs. Now swing both arms up and out to the left, going clockwise in a semicircle until they're above your head. Push your arms right up in the air before swinging them down on that same left side, back in front of your legs. Do a couple more on your left side, swinging both arms out and up, pushing them high up above your head and back down again. That's good. Now change direction to the right. So start with your arms in front of your legs, then sweep them out and up, going anti-clockwise this time to make the semicircle. Push both arms up above your head and swing them back down to your legs. And again, just do a few more of these on the right side. Try keeping your shoulders back and your vertical arms straight if you can. This is really good for your back, arms, shoulders and core. Next up is gently rocking. So in the usual start position, feet hip-width apart and shoulders relaxed, lift both arms to shoulder height and bend your elbows so that one is pointing to the left and one right, like butterfly wings. Now roll your shoulders backwards, letting your arms naturally follow the movement. If you're standing, you can bend your knees slightly at the same time. Keep the movements nice and slow. Now lean forward slightly and keep rolling your shoulders slowly backwards in that position. Then twist your upper body to the right for 2 more rolls. And finally, twist to the left and do 2 rolls on that side. Try making the movements a bit wider and lean a bit deeper if you can. This is another good one for your arms, shoulders and core. The next one is called Row Deeper. So you're back on the river for this one. So with your feet hip-width apart, lean forwards as far as you can. And if you're standing, bend your knees as low as is comfortable. If you're sitting, go as low as you can into that lean. Then stretch both arms out in front of you with your palms down. Keep your arms a few inches apart and at shoulder height, and make 2 fists as if you're grasping the oars. Now pull your arms and upper body back in that strong rowing motion. So repeat that same flowing movement. Lean forwards, bend low, stretch out your arms, gripping those oars again, and then pull your arms back. Just do a few more of these now. Try pulling back a bit further into your shoulder if you can. This really helps your arms, legs, shoulders and core. Well done. Now it's time for setting sun. This is another nice flowing movement to work your upper body and hips. Hold both your arms out in front of your chest, keeping them relaxed with your elbows slightly bent. Now twist to the right, keeping your feet facing forwards. Then move your arms side by side to slowly make a big figure of 8 shape in the air with your hands, as if the 8 is on its side in front of you. Just keep going, making that figure of 8 shape in a continuous flowing movement, keeping it nice and slow. Do a few facing the right side, and then twist to the left, and do a few movements on the left side. You're doing exactly the same, just slowly making a continuous figure of 8 shape in the air. Keep going. Try to keep your arms high and make a wider figure if you can. This is good for your arms, shoulders, chest and back, and your hip rotation too. That's great. The next one is called Calm the Ground. Twist your upper body to the right, keeping your feet still and facing forwards. Raise both your arms to just below chest height, bending your elbows so they face out behind you and your palms are facing down. Now push your arms slowly down from your shoulders as if you're pressing towards the floor. If you're standing, bend your knees as far as is comfortable, and if you're sitting, you can press down through your toes. Then relax your arms and raise them up towards your chest as you straighten up. Do a few more of these on the right side. That's good. Then turn to the left and do the same on that side. So push your arms slowly downwards from your shoulders, relax and raise up, and then push back down again. Keep going for a couple more times. Try to have straight arms and pull back your wrists if you can. This is good for your arms, wrists and hip rotation too. Next up, it's go low to repel. You need to flex your arm muscles and lunge forward for this one. Start by holding your right arm out to the side with your elbow bent and forearm pointing upwards to make a right angle. Clench your fist and flex the muscles in your arm. Then, still flexed, move your arm to the middle in front of your face and at the same time step your right foot forward, bending your knee if you're standing. Then step back as you push your arm back out to the side. Now switch to the left hand side and do that same movement. So make a right angle out to the side with your left arm, elbow bent. Flex your muscles and clench your fist. And in that position, bring your arm into the centre as you step forward with your left foot. Keep going with this movement, alternating between left and right. So that's left arm and left foot forward, and then right arm and right foot forward. Try to keep your arms high and take a deeper lunge forward if you can. This is good for your chest, shoulders and core. Next up is look deeper. This movement is slightly different if you're standing or sitting. If you're standing, bend your knees as low as is comfortable. Hold your arms out in front of you, loosely bent at the elbows, then straighten back up. And repeat this a few more times. If you're sitting and able to lift your bottom slightly, then rise a small way from the chair with your arms out in front of you and then lower back down. If you're not able to rise from the chair, then move your feet forward instead. Lean forward and press down through your feet to feel a contraction in your legs. So if you're standing, bend your knees, go as low as you can and slowly rise back up. And if you're sitting, rise slightly from your chair or you press down through your feet. Keep going a few more times. Try keeping your arms high if you can. This is good for your shoulders, arms, legs and core. Well done. Now it's time for settle back. Start with your feet a little bit wider apart and toes pointing slightly out. This is great for working your inner thighs. If you're standing, bend your knees and at the same time, lift your arms out to each side. Then straighten up as you lower your arms back down. Just do a few more of these. If you're sitting, lean forward slightly. Press through your feet and lift your arms out to each side at the same time. Then straighten up as you lower your arms again. So keep going. Arms up to the sides as you squat down or lean forwards, and arms down as you straighten up. Try to keep your arms high and bend or lean a little bit lower if you can. This is good for your legs and your core. Now it's full flight. This is another one that's good for your legs and inner thighs. Raise your arms to each side again, but this time stretch out your right leg and tap your foot to the side as your arms come up. Then step back as you lower your arms. Now swap feet. So step forward with your left leg and tap the foot out to the side as you raise your arms. Step back again as you lower your arms. Carry on for a few more, alternating your feet from left to right and tapping each foot out to the side. Try to tap out a bit further if you can. This is really good for your arms and your core. And the final exercise is rise high. This movement is slightly different again if you're standing or sitting. If you're standing, bend your knees as far as is comfortable. Hold your arms out in front of you, loosely bent at the elbows. Hold that position briefly, then straighten back up. Go low again, hold, come back up, and then repeat this movement a few times more. If you're sitting and able to lift up from the chair with your arms out in front, then rise as high as you can and lower back down. Another option if you're sitting is to press down through your feet instead, so just do whichever feels comfortable. So whether sitting or standing, you're lowering down and rising back up. Try not to move your knees further forward than your toes. Just do that a couple more times, going low and rising high. If you can, hold the position for a bit longer. This is really good for your legs, core and your hip movement. That's all the exercises done. Well done. So we're just going to finish with a quick shake to cool down. So raise both arms up above your head towards the ceiling and just briefly wave your hands and arms in the air. Then lift one leg slightly from the floor if you can. Shake it out in the air for a second or two. Raise the other leg and shake that one too. Or you can just shake your upper body instead. So that's the end of the session. Great work, everyone. We hope you enjoyed it. Doing 10 today just 3 times a week can have positive benefits for your physical health and improve your well-being too. It's short, it's fun, and you'll simply feel better. So do keep going.
Hi, it's Clive Davis from the Wildlife Sound Recording Society with your November edition of Sounds. Tony Fulford's recordings are male and female duets between several species from different countries, each introduced separately. I have added the song of a large cuckoo shrike at the end, recorded by Tony in Malaysia. It is neither a cuckoo nor a shrike, but possibly named so due to their similar features. Taxonomy can be confusing. Please enjoy.
And we begin with agile gibbons from Southeast Asia. Next, the yellow-crowned gonolek from West Africa. Ashy tailor birds from Malaysia. Tawny owls. And finally, water rails.
And lastly, the large cuckoo shrike.
TNF Soundings.